Well, good morning, warriors. How are you? I hope you've had a lovely afternoon. Now, yes, I did do a short video yesterday on what was supposed to be the Department of Education trotting out all these new ideas of how we could change education in the name of COVID. And I didn't listen to all of it because I could tell just from DeVos's preliminary statement that it was going to be nothing but a way to promote the fact of, we're just going to dangle money in front of people to help them have better education. So this morning, she's just announced a new program, and this one is going to target our adult learners. So isn't that fun? Now, I know that if you've followed my blog long enough, you know that we've used the term cradle to grave in education and alignment. And we know that a lot of the Every Student Succeeds Act embedded a lot of the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. We also know that it embedded the Higher Education Act, which of course does impact our adult education. So this is the new thing. U.S. Department of Education launches a Rethink Adult Education Challenge to grow. Are you ready? Pre-apprenticeship opportunities for lifelong learners. Now, lifelong learners, we know, is a catchphrase that the United Nations has used for years, and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development has used that term, and it doesn't mean anything other than you will constantly be in some form of education or job or combination thereof. And we can look to Mark Tucker for supposedly inspiration for this particular system. That's on my blog as well. But here is the press release, and it's dated today, September 24th, 2020. In recognition of National Adult Education and Family Literacy Week, U.S. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos announced today the Rethink Adult Education Challenge that will expand career opportunities for adult learners through apprenticeship programs. All right. Now, it goes on to say, in our dynamic and changing economy, learning must be a lifelong pursuit, said Secretary DeVos. Educational opportunities for adults should reflect this reality, but all too often, students, particularly adult learners, encounter barriers to changing careers and learning new skills. This pre-apprenticeship challenge gives local education leaders the opportunity and encouragement they need to rethink adult education to match this new reality and ensure students are prepared for success. Now, let me pause right here. Pre-apprenticeship goes into the career tech education. It goes into the STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. And, we've beat this horse to death over the fact that this can all be tied back to that United Nations birth to death system that you'll be in. Now, here's how this is supposed to work. $750,000 in prizes. In prizes will be given to any adult education provider who can create innovative and high quality pre-apprenticeship programs in any industry anywhere in the United States. It goes on to say, this includes community colleges, correctional facilities, libraries, community-based organizations, and other eligible providers who can accept this challenge will go into a complete stage 1 submission. And they have to do this by November 25th. The online submission will give preliminary design for your program, how it will target adults, how it will use literacy activities that will also be used, and how it will fit local industry needs. Curated resources you can find at rethinkadulted.com to prepare your submissions. Now, if you make it through that round, you get to go into stage 2, which is open until July of 2021. And this is going to select just 100 of these groups. So remember, this is 100 either community colleges, correctional facilities, libraries, community-based organizations, and other eligible providers. So it's going to be a big cross section of all those. Okay, These 100 will have access to digital resources like case studies, activities, and webinars with subject matter experts to help them refine their designs and to develop better programs. Then these will be reviewed, and one grand prize winner and 5 runners up. The grand prize winner will get $250,000, and each of the 5 runners up will get at least $100,000. Isn't that special? How great of Betsy DeVos. Are you kidding me? This is absolutely stupid. You're taking taxpayer funding and you're using it as prizes now. Now, they're not even going in and saying these are loans or these are grants. No, these are prizes. Here's another quote, okay? Too many adult learners are missing out on opportunities for well-paid and rewarding careers due to skills gap, family responsibilities, financial situations, or a lack of awareness about apprenticeships in general. This is the Assistant Secretary for the Career Tech and Adult Ed, Scott Stunt. We are addressing these hurdles by advancing innovative pre-apprenticeship programs that will benefit everyone, including adult learners, employers, and the communities around them. Now, when it says benefit everyone, including, that means there are going to be others that supposedly benefit as well. Gosh. Okay. Let me tell you this. Rethink, this is in the bottom of the press release. Rethink Adult Ed is part of Ed Prizes, a series of prize competitions that develop new products and services to both increase access and expand the capacity for career tech education. The department has also awarded $1.7 million in prizes through 3 previous challenges. And if you want to find out about those, you can go to edprizes.com. Isn't it comforting to know that your federal government, using an unconstitutional federal agency, is now in the game show business for education? For what? Skill-based lifelong learning. And I'm saying this with a smile because it is so absolutely infuriating that I really just don't want to say things that I would not want on Facebook. But let's go look at this stage 1 submission. Now, you can find this press release on the Department of Education. So you would go to ed.gov, you would look for the press releases, and then the one that's titled U.S. Department of Education launches Rethink Adult Ed Challenge to grow pre-apprenticeship opportunities for lifelong learners. All right, so I'm going to look at this particular stage 1. All right, the U.S. Department of Education invites AELFA funded adult education providers to design innovative, high-quality pre-apprenticeship programs. All right, it goes on to tell you that you can be a community or faith-based organization. You can be a correctional facility, a local education agency, which will include all your local school boards, higher education institution, and that would include those that are nonprofit as well as for-profit, library, public or private training provider, public housing authority, or other. Now let that sink in, a housing authority. If you'll remember, I think it was probably last year, I did an article about the zoning changes here in the town that I live in. It was inclusionary zoning, and what it was setting up was it was setting housing that was going to be within walking distance of a higher education facility that does nothing but train for skills. And I did that article. I can't remember the name of it, but it's on the blog. And if you look on the blog, it's commoncorediva.com. And if you look for inclusionary zoning, it was a way for you to find out what is going on in your town or your state about this particular thing as well. Because if we're not seeing the writing on the wall that this is coming, as we've been saying for a long time, this is coming at everyone from every angle, and it's going to ensnare everyone. So I'm not sure what an AELFA funded adult education provider is, so I'm going to look for that. So give me just a minute, and I hope that you will share this information because this is just absolutely awful. All right, federally funded adult education and family literacy programs. So folks, they're going not after just the adults, they're going after the families. Oh my stars. And this is all based off the Adult Education and Family Literacy Act, or the AEFLA. And you can find that. Let's see here. Where can we find that? You can find that at everycrsreport.com. All right, that's every, then the letters CRSR, and then report.com. So the report is, the first letter in report is the R. So there's not two R's. Okay, so it's EVERY, capital C, capital R, capital S, capital R, lowercase EPORT.com. And you will find here that it is a federal legislation that supports basic education for out-of-school adults, commonly known as adult education. All right, fiscal year 2013, $575 million was appropriated for this. All right, $21 million was also used to set aside for national activities and incentive grants. Okay, so national activities would include the game show prizes that Betsy DeVos is now forking out. Okay, well, let me see. Okay, so again, this is now in our faces, lifelong learners, pre-apprentice, prizes, finalists, open to entire communities, faith-based organizations, nonprofits, industries. So if you think that the current administration is going to get its nose out of education, no, they're not. They're not going to do it. And this is signing people up for nothing but indentured servitude programs that will just chain us from cradle to grave. Find this at ed.gov. Again, this is a press release that was put out this morning, and I got an email for it. If you want to sign up for emails from the Department of Education, you can do that on their website. That's how sometimes I get these before it hits the news. And you can do that too if you want to. But I would encourage you to share this because, you know, we've been hearing a lot from folks like Book of Hours, Alice Linehan, Charlotte Iserbite. We've been hearing from Allison McDowell about the blockchains that come with all this lifelong learning and how it's going to really enslave us. So this is another step in that direction. It's also going to dovetail right into the USMCA, which is the United States, Mexico, Canada agreement. And this is slotting us for skill-based jobs, and it's here. Okay, guys, share away and keep fighting.